Hey guys, welcome back. We are leaving for Disney in 3 days, so I thought I'd share with you my quick and easy packing tips. We are leaving for a full 16 days and we're driving, which means 5 of those days we're in the van with all 5 of us crammed in there. So I wanted to make sure I packed enough stuff to last 16 days, obviously, but not so much that we were sardines in a tin can driving down the highway for all of those days. So here are some of my favorite tips for packing light, even with kids, even if you're traveling for more than just a week. My first tip is obviously rolling clothes. I know you've heard this before, but it works. You can put more in your suitcase and keep them less wrinkled by rolling. And just make sure that you pop the collars, you guys. You need to have any collared shirts on the top with the collars out and not rolled to keep them from creasing. I also really recommend choosing coordinating colors. So I bring a few pairs of jean capris or black pants, and then all the shirts match. That way I don't have to bring a lot of different colored shoes. I can have one shoe that everything coordinates with and only have a few pairs of pants and a lot of shirts. The next tip is to cover the top of your suitcase with garbage bags or a garment bag for a couple of reasons. One, in case your toiletries, which you keep in the front pouch, explode or something crazy, it protects your clothes. But also, these are perfect for dirty clothes bags while you're out, while you're traveling. Use them to put your dirty clothes in so you're not, getting your clean clothes skanky. The next tip is to choose the perfect bag. Always pack empty bags for things like your beach bag. I'm going ahead and packing mine ahead of time, but when we do travel by air, I always pack an empty bag for the beach and an empty bag that I'm going to fill for the parks. I love using this one across the chest style backpack. It's ultra thin. It holds a ton of stuff. So while we're at Disney, I can put water bottles and snacks and everything else, but be hands-free. And unlike a backpack, I'm not going to get all sweaty. Choosing the perfect bag and making sure you're bringing those in your travels is an awesome tip. This is my favorite tip though. This is the pea pod. Pea pods are pretty much a lifesaver when you're packing with kids. It means going from 2 suitcases to 1. Not only that, but it keeps it so much more organized and neat and tidy, and kids can easily find their clothes. So you start by just laying out the shirt and then laying out their pants over top and then underwear or anything else they want with the outfit, folding it in, and here comes the trick. It's the socks. You roll the socks in, leaving the outside of the socks sticking out so you can roll them up and over to make a pea pod. I cannot tell you how cool these pea pods are. Kids can grab the outfits out of the suitcase without making a mess. It keeps them wrinkle free and saves you a ton of space. The next tip is for jewelry, and you can use Glade Press and Seal or you can use regular old saran wrap. Just lay your jewelry out on one layer of saran wrap or press and seal and then put another layer over top and roll them up for perfectly tangle-free necklaces. I really recommend for each kid that you have a car bag or their own little travel bag. I guess it's a carry-on if you're flying, but it has like their tablets in it, their favorite stuffed animals. It's sort of their little comfort bag with their favorite treats, and it's just for them. They keep track of it, and it really helps with fighting or keeping them from getting bored. I even have one for mommy, for my tablet and my fun stuff and my snacks. Having a little bag is great. My travel planner always comes in really handy. It's just a binder, and inside I put our itinerary details, so the hotels that we're staying at, the confirmation codes, if we're flying, the flight numbers, all of that type of stuff, and tickets if we're going someplace like we're going to Universal and we're going to Disney. So everything's printed off and in one binder. Didn't take a lot of time, but it's going to save me a ton of time. And I also can have a quick look of all the stops we're going and kind of see everything at a glance. Love, love, love my travel binder. If you do a lot of road trips with your family, a plug-in cooler is a must. This cooler plugs not only into the car jack, but it also has an adapter that we can bring it right into the hotel room. So it saves us a ton of cash. We don't have to stop for cold drinks or fresh fruit all the time. We can keep it in our cooler and always keep things cold. I'm loving this plug-in cooler. We also pack per stop. So you can see these totes on the right here. Those are for our first 2 stops for the kids and first 2 stops for mom and dad. That way we don't have to lug in our big heavy suitcases. We can just grab each of those totes each time. We also pack snacks and toiletries separately to save us from having to lug in the heavy suitcases at each stop. And beside it, I keep these empty bags just for ease of carrying those extra totes in, so we don't have to, carry just in the tote. So this is it, you guys. This is it for 16 days for my entire family. It's not even full. We have so much space back here. We could still put things, but we're not going to. Souvenirs! We're putting souvenirs. I don't know what we're going to put back there. But yeah, we were able to keep the rest of the car, the van, really clutter-free too. And lots of walkways for the kids. Not too much going on in there, which is perfect for a very long car ride. So thanks so much for watching. We're going to be leaving in a couple of days and not be back for a few weeks. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be uploading while we're gone or not. If not, I'll see you guys in a couple weeks, and thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time. Those of you who have stuck to the end, thank you so much. Did you notice how clean the van was? I cleaned up the van. I vacuumed and I scrubbed it because Joe is a freak about having a clean vehicle. He doesn't care if the house looks like a freaking crap fest, but he cares about the vehicle being clean, so he never ever ever drives the van because it's disgusting all the time. So I cleaned it so I didn't have to hear him complain, and I thought I'd share that with you. But I was thinking about this funny thing that happened to me 5 years ago. So I had to share this story with you because I know you guys love the stories. Okay, so my old vehicle before we had Milo was a minivan too, and it was like a Ford, and we had it for a few years, and we bought it used, and it was bad. It was in bad shape. Not only was it filthy, but I have a tendency to play accidental bumper cars in parking lots, and it was really scratched, and the radio was broken because I told you about the foot pounding thing. That was years ago. So I had no radio to drown out the sound. We had a loose exhaust pipe, so it rattled so loud, and I'm pretty sure the muffler had a hole in it. I'm just setting it up for you that the van was really gross, so I decided, beat up. So I decided to take it through a car wash. Now Izzy, she was I think 4 maybe, and Abby was 2. They might have been a little bit older, but Milo wasn't born yet. But I remember that Izzy had moved back to the back. She had been big enough for a big girl booster, so she didn't want to sit by her sister anymore. So she was in the very back because she could buckle herself. You see where I'm going with this. Anyways, so we were going through a car wash. And I never went through car washes, but I was like, we're gonna clean the van today. Woo! Let's go through a car wash. And so I pumped gas and I got one of those coupons, and I drove up to the thing and I put my code in, and it was a beautiful day. So everyone was getting a car wash, and the doors came up, and I'm waiting, and there's a bunch of cars behind me, and the one guy starts honking, and I'm like, why am I not going? And I'm pushing the button, but nobody's responding. It's not dragging me in. And I realize that I'm not in the track. The track that pulls your car forward when you put it in neutral. So I'm in neutral and it's not pulling me forward. So I'm sort of panicking because there's a huge lineup of cars behind me. I can't back up. So I do what any normal person would do, and I put it in drive, and I slowly drive through the car wash because I'm like, okay, I'm not in neutral. It can't pull me through. I'm not in the track. But I'll drive through the car wash. Don't ever do this. So I'm driving through really slow, driving through the car wash, except it must be perfectly aligned or something. So because I'm not in the track and I'm over too far to be in the track, I must have monkey arms to put my code in. I don't really know how this happened, but the beater bars that are spinning on either side, on this side is bam, bam, bam. It's so loud. It's hitting the car, and it's actually hitting the car so hard in the front that it's turning me sideways a little bit. So I panic and I go forward, except now I've hit the track, with the front tire. So I can't go at all. I'm stuck in this bam, 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 and the kids are screaming in the background, and it's very loud, and it's shaking the van. And so I do what any normal person would do again, and I gun it to get, I'm hoping, my plan was to get in the track, so I'm sideways against the track, so I gun it, but I go up and over and I smash into a bunch of stuff on the other side, which is a spinning, which turns me almost completely sideways in this car wash. And it's so loud because these brushes and these beaters are just in the van shaking and the kids are screaming. So I reverse really hard to get back up over the bump, and then I go forward again, and then I reverse and forward until I'm straight, and I drive out of that sucker so fast, full of rainbow soap. I didn't wait for the rinsing or anything. I drove out of there like I stole the van. I probably broke that car wash so bad, but I had to get out of there so bad, and the kids are crying and they're screaming. And I was like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's all over, it's okay. We'll go home and we'll rinse it off with it's okay, it's okay. And I tilt my, rear view mirror to focus on them, why they're crying so bad. And Isabel is soaked. Okay, I had left the rear van windows open, just like the crack, they fan out. It was the old school van. So they like open up with this little black, anyways, they vent a little bit, but because I was sideways, the water must have been squirting right in on her. She is still traumatized, so scared of car washes. We could not go to another car wash. Not only that, the van was scratched so bad. I mean, just a good person would have probably, I don't even know, gotten out, not driven through in the first place, but probably said something to management, but I just drove out of there. I just drove out of there. And I've had other horrible car washing incidents since. Once I was trapped in one for like 15 minutes. It was pitch black because the hydro was out. It's a long story, but I was trapped in that car wash. So car washes and we don't get along, which is why, not the only reason why my car is so gross, but it's gross. But I cleaned it for Joe and this trip to Disney. So I had to share my car wash horror story with you. Again, to just show you that I'm a moron and I do really stupid things all the time. And it's just part of my normal day. But anyways, hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time.